Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are doing this very beginner friendly, super duper easy adjustable cardigan. It's not a cardigan that's meant to keep you warm. It's just gonna make your outfits look really cute. Yeah, like when you go places or for the holidays or whatever. So yeah, it's all in one. Basically you just crochet everything basically all together, and then you fold it and sew up the side seams. So yeah, super duper easy as always. So let's go ahead and get into the yarn that we're using. So I am using Red Heart with Love yarn. I love this yarn so much. It is a weight for worsted weight yarn. Yeah, here's all the little details about it, and I'm trying to get you to see it because I have the light. Like, sorry you guys for my lighting in this video. The lighting is so super duper trash. Oh my god. And it took me like 3 days to film it because I just was not feeling good. Anyway, so basically I'm just showing you all the different information about the yarn. Now we're going to go ahead and get into what we need. I am showing a 6.5mm hook, but I always end up messing up stuff and I use a 6mm, but it really doesn't matter. You're going to need a yarn needle or a tapestry needle to sew up your cardigan. And also, you're going to need... Come on, Danielle. I definitely was going to go look for my measuring tape or something. Yeah, measuring tape is what you're going to need. And then your yarn, of course. And I used about 3 skeins, so I would say get at least 3 skeins, but 4 or 5 would be better. So you're gonna start off by making a slip knot, and see right there I switched my hook to a 6mm hook. I'm terrible. So I'm basically chaining a chain that's long enough to measure 16 inches, because I believe that is the size that I made. I used the Craft Yarn Council size chart, and I will link that in the description box, and it's also linked in my my free blog post pattern for this pattern. So basically I chained a chain that was long enough for 16 inches. My stitch gauge is 3 stitches per inch, so you would basically just times 16 by 3 and you would know how much to get. So whatever your shoulder to shoulder measurement is, that's what you would be calculating right now. So then you want to half double crochet in the second chain from the hook and all the way across, all the way until the end, because this is going to be our foundation row for our cardigan. And if you want to add ease to it to make it bigger, you could add 2 inches or 4 inches and make it like a baggy cardigan, but this is a really fitted cardigan. So yeah, once you go ahead and get the last stitch in, you want to chain 1 at the end of every chain. Or at the end of every row, you want to chain 1 to begin your row. So in the first stitch, yeah, you want to half double crochet and then double crochet into the same stitch. So you place a half double crochet and double crochet stitch in 1 stitch. I think I'm saying something wrong right now. I don't know. You skip 2 stitches and then you single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet into the same stitch. It is called the Sedge stitch pattern. And I will have that also on my blog site if you want to go check that out, and I'll have the name in the description box so you can look up the pattern. Anyway, so basically the pattern is you do a single crochet, a half double crochet, and double crochet all in the same stitch, and then you skip 2 chains and you do it all over again, all the way till you have 2 stitches left on your row. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. And then I'll come back when I reach the end of the row. And I used this before in a blue pattern, a blue sweater pattern that I did on my channel. I really love this stitch. I don't know why. So anyway, yeah, once you have 2 stitches remaining, you skip the next stitch and you single crochet into that last stitch. And that's what you will do for every single row, because this is just how the pattern goes. You just keep doing the same thing every row. And you don't even have to use this stitch pattern for this cardigan. You can use any stitch pattern and make a super duper cute cardigan. But anyway, like I said, at the end of the row you chain 1 and then you start the pattern again. You half double crochet and double crochet into the first stitch, and then you skip 2 stitches and you single crochet into that last stitch. And that's what you will do for every single row. You just keep doing the same thing every row. And you don't even have to use this stitch pattern for this cardigan. You can use any stitch pattern for this cardigan. But anyway, like I said, at the end of the row you chain 1 and then you start the pattern again. You half double crochet into the first stitch, and then you skip 2 stitches, which would be your double crochet and half double crochet from the previous row, and then you single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet into that single crochet from the previous row. And I hope I'm not confusing you guys. Just watch what I'm doing. It's literally skipping 2 stitches from the previous row, which is a double crochet and half double crochet, and you do your 3 stitches into the single crochet of the previous row. So right there, you single crochet, half double crochet, and then double crochet. Super duper easy. And you do that all the way to the end of the row, and for every other row after. And you can make this as short or as long as you want. You can make a nice cute duster, make it really long, but I decided to make it kind of short because I knew what kind of outfit I was wearing and I wanted it to look perfect. So anyway, at the end of the row, you want to single crochet into the last stitch of the row. So super easy, guys. Yep. So you just continue this for however long you want. I believe I did 24 to 25 inches in length, and that was about maybe 45 rows. I don't know how many rows it was, but you make it as long as you want. So yeah, I'm telling you that that's about how long I did the cardigan for. And right here, I'm just showing you the craft yarn council. This is where I use all the measurements for my patterns for. So it basically shows you all the sizes from a extra small all the way to a 5X. And then whatever you're making, you just look and see what measurements you might need. So for this cardigan, I used the crossback shoulder to shoulder measurements. I didn't go exactly with the measurements on this chart because I added a little bit of ease to these measurements, but it's still a fitted sweater or cardigan. And then you do the arm length for how long you want your sleeves to be, and armhole depth, and that's how wide your sleeve is going to be. So yeah, and if you want to make anything that involves waist and hip measurements, you would just use this also. And I'm showing you the bigger sizes, shoulder to shoulder measurements, and arm length and armhole depth. So you just go on that website and you will be able to see all the measurements and figure out what measurements work for whatever size you're trying to make. Anyway, so after you finish all of the rows that you want, this is pretty much how it should look. Now don't pay attention to these stitch markers because I did mine completely wrong, and I left about 2 inches of space in between for my neck hole, and I didn't really need to do that, and it ended up causing me to make my front panels different sizes. So I would suggest that you find the middle of your work, and then you make your front panels the size of like wherever your stitch marker is. That would be your left side, and then on the other side of your stitch marker you would crochet all the way on that side for your right side of your front panel, if that makes sense. So I'm just doing the sedge stitch across where my stitch markers are, and for you it'll be different. And I didn't really want to count because this stitch pattern is weird to count. If you see how they're structured, they're kind of like I don't know, they're kind of like in between each other. So basically however many inches wide you want yours to be, that's how, like, I'm confusing myself, but that's how wide that you would make it. So basically my foundation chain was 16 inches wide, so I did both of my front panels to be 8 inches wide, if that makes sense, because 8 plus 8 would be 16, right? So basically that's just how I did it. It turned out perfectly fine. And yeah, however many rows you did for your back panel, that's how many rows you are going to do for your 2 front panels. So they'll all be the same length and the same width once everything's put together. So like I'm showing you right here, that's the first row. Then I'm just turning my work, chaining 1, and then continuing the pattern, half double crochet, double crochet, skip 2, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet. And you just continue that until you get the length that you need, and you do both front panels. So easy, guys. And this would be so cute if it was like a waffle stitch, or like maybe like the bobble stitch. Oh my god, it would be so cute. I'm probably gonna make like different stitch patterns, this cardigan out of different stitch patterns, just so I can have a whole bunch of cardigans. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm messing up, you guys. And sorry for the way my blog post looks. Oh my god, you guys, it is so hard for me to concentrate, and I have a lot of like health issues going on right now, and I'm just really stressed out, but I'm still trying to be productive, so bear with me, please. Anyway, so here's the finished I think that's my right side panel, and that's how it should be looking for you at this point. I know mine looks really small, but this yarn and the stitch pattern has a lot of stretch, so it's not really small. It just looks like it until I put it on. So yeah, basically you want to do the other side, your left side, just like you did your right side. And then bam, we're gonna move on to the next part. But I'll come back and I'll show you how it should look after you do both front panels. Actually, when I come back, I'm gonna have my right side sleeve done and a pocket done, because I filmed stuff and then deleted it and then had to redo it. Like, it was crazy, you guys. So yeah, just bear with me, like I said. So yeah, here we go. Here are both of my front panels completed, and then I also have my right sleeve completed. And sorry guys if you hear like a noise, that is my dog. He's snoring in the background and breathing really hard. So don't pay that any mind. But anyway, yeah, now we're gonna start working on the sleeve portion, which is so super easy also. Oh yeah, and I was telling you guys in this part that I made one of my panels bigger than the other because I wasn't paying attention when I was crocheting. So yeah, make sure you don't do that, because you'll be able to tell, trust me. Anyway, so once you open up your cardigan, you put your back panel flat out and your front panels flat out, you will have where your sleeve is going to be. So then you need to find your shoulder seam, which is where you started your front panels at. That first row would be your shoulder seam, and that's where you're going to start your sleeve at. So I already put 2 stitch markers across because I already knew where I needed my sleeve at. But I'm going to show you guys how to get your sleeve measurement. So basically on the Yarn Craft Council website, if you've seen what your armhole depth was, you would go ahead and use that measurement. So mine was a 7. So I'm going to measure 7 inches from my seam. And I think I'm trying to show you guys the stitch gauge, but it's going to be different for everybody probably, because you might not be using the same hook, or you might crochet loose or tighter than me. But basically the cluster stitch is basically like an inch wide. Well, 2 sedge stitch clusters are about an inch wide, and then 2 sedge stitches are about an inch long also. So I just went ahead and measured from my seam, my shoulder seam, to 7 inches, and then I did that on the front panel and the back panel. And you start from your arm, oh my god, I'm so confused, your shoulder seam on the front and back, and that should equal 14 if your number was 7. If it's 8, then you know you'll get a higher number. So it should all measure to be 14 inches or whatever number equals what you need, so you can make sure that your arm holes will be big enough and they won't be like too small or whatever, or too big if you don't want it to be too big. So once you do that, basically you reconnect your yarn, where your stitch marker is for your sleeve, and then you would continue the sedge stitch because you started the same way every time. You would take the sedge stitch and just go across. Now basically there's not going to be a defined 2 spaces for you to skip. You just kind of have to guide yourself and just see what looks like it could be 2 stitches so your pattern can just be complete. Like, you don't want to not have enough stitches, and then you don't want to have too much. So just make sure you're skipping the proper amount of spaces. I couldn't really explain it to you guys, but I'm chaining 1, half double crochet, and then double crochet, and then whatever looks like 2 stitches for me, I'm gonna just skip those and then start with a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet in the same stitch. And it took me about 2 tries because I wanted to make sure both of my sleeves had the same amount of clusters. And I'm calling them clusters because it's 3 stitches in 1 stitch, so it's a cluster basically. But I wanted to make sure I had enough. So just make sure when you do yours that you count how many you did on the first side, so you can have that on the second side, so everything will be even and you won't have like a crazy looking cardigan. So yes, so easy. Just go across those stitches all the way to the next stitch marker, and then you will repeat that back and forth for however many rows you want. And also on the the Craft Yarn Council website, they have the length of your arm, so you can make it like a 3/4 sleeve. You can make it just to your wrist or past your wrist, however you want. I didn't increase or decrease. I just kept the amount of stitches that I had to begin with. I kept that all the way down because I didn't want it to taper off and be like fitted around my arm. I just wanted it to be, loose fitting, but then still tight on the body part. So anyway, yeah, I did about 18 or 19 inches for my arms because I wanted it to be a little bit long, but not like hanging over to where it would be like touching my hands all the way. So yeah, super duper easy, like I said. It shouldn't have taken me this long to get this video out, but after I filmed the video and edited the video, I realized that I didn't even write my blog post, and I didn't take any pictures for my blog, so the pictures look really crazy. You guys, I'm going through it, but it is okay because it's all part of my plan to get better and get back on track. Because if you guys don't know, I'm definitely trying to have a baby, and I have to get my health in order because I have a little bit of setbacks, but I'm definitely gonna push through. And all the things that I have to take to get well, oh my goodness. Whew. Just hopefully I don't go crazy while I'm going through the process, but as long as I stay productive, I will be fine. But anyway, let me stop rambling and putting all my business in the street. I'm showing you right now, I'm comparing one sleeve to the finished sleeve that I have to the one that I'm doing right now, to show you guys that basically you just want to make that sleeve identical to the other sleeve, and I'm trying to measure those right now to make sure they are. So yeah, that's all you do. And after you finish your sleeves, you should have 2 front panels, a back panel, and 2 side sleeve panels, just like this. I'm showing you the back, then the 2 fronts, and then the 2 side sleeves. Yeah, that's how it all should look put all together. Well, not put together, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so once you have that all done, you want to fold your cardigan to where it looks like it's already a sewn together cardigan, so you can get a feel for how it's gonna look. And I already put a pocket on there. That's optional, you don't have to, but you can put a pocket up there. And I just wanted mine to be like 5 by 5, so I multiplied 5 by 3, got 15, and so I did 15 stitches, and then I did the sedge stitch across. So you want to oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys, the sedge stitch is a multiple of 3 plus 1. So I did 16 chains, and then I have double crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then double crochet, skip 2 stitches, oh excuse me, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet into the next stitch, skip 2 stitches, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet in the same stitch. You do that all the way across till you have 2 stitches left, and then you put a single crochet in that last stitch, and then you chain 1, and you repeat those steps all over again until it reaches 5 inches or however long you want, because some people like deep pockets. I don't. I just want something to be able to put like my lip gloss in or something. For some reason I hate carrying purses. I don't know, I used to love it, but now I need anything with pockets on it. So yeah, yep. So once you complete that, we're gonna go ahead and sew it onto the cardigan. And like I told you guys, I did the right side of the cardigan about 1 inch or 1.5 inches wider than I did the left side on accident, and I didn't want to go back and redo it. So basically I'm gonna I'm gonna make my cardigan be able to fit correctly, because we'll make this pocket be able to fit on the panel correctly. I'm going to stretch the panel out, and then I'm going to add some stitch markers to hold the pocket in place, and then stitch it up there. But I don't know why I'm going ahead of the tutorial anyway. I don't know what's wrong with me, you guys. All over the place. So I really did not need to show all of this. That's probably why this video was like 34 minutes long, because I left irrelevant stuff in here. Sorry you guys, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to be more aware of how long my clips are when I'm filming a tutorial, and I also need to sit down and plan out my videos better. But that all comes with time. Get better at everything with time. But anyway, so like I told you, I'm going to stretch it a little bit so that the pocket looks kind of how the other side does, where it has about like 1/2 inch of space on the side between the pocket and the panel. So yeah, I'm probably confusing you, but you're going to see what I'm doing once you watch me do it. I'm going to take the yarn and connect it all together so it looks right. I'm trying to line up the pockets so they're even also. And I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know why I keep feeling like I need to apologize, but this voiceover is so trash, and so is this video. I'm so sorry. But here we go. So yeah, I'm putting my little yarn stitch markers in, and like I said, I stretched the panel a little bit so the pocket can fit, because it would have been the same size. The pocket and the panel would have been the same size if I didn't stretch it like this. And then the stitch markers are just holding it in place, because it'll be really hard to sew this pocket on without stitch markers. So yeah, once you put all of those up there, you want to thread your needle, and then go ahead and start sewing the pocket on. And sorry if you guys hear this clicking noise, but I'm looking for a teen mom. Okay. So once you have your pocket put on, like I said, you go ahead and get your needle threaded with your yarn or whatever. And there's no particular way that you need to sew this on. Just make sure you don't have any holes, because of course you don't need holes in your pockets except on the top. So I'm starting from the top, and then I'm going to go down the side, the bottom, and then the other side to the top. So you want to insert your needle, and I kind of did it from the bottom going up because I don't want to go straight through the pocket, but you can. I don't want you to really be able to see it. So now I'm tying the yarn in so the needle doesn't, the thread doesn't go through. And then I'm basically gonna go through like one top loop of the panel, and then go through the pocket, because you want to go up and through it. You don't want to, like, so you can make sure that the pocket is all the way closed. Like, but if you have a better way to stitch it, you can stitch it like that. But for beginners, I'm just trying to explain to you a little bit, because you don't want to stitch up your pocket and then when you get to the end you have holes around the sides. So just make sure that you're going into every stitch that you can see, and yeah, and pull it tight to make sure it's tight so there's no open seams. You don't want to put something in your pocket and then it falls out, and that would be terrible. So you just go ahead and do that all the way around until you get to the other side, and then tie off your yarn and weave in your ends, and then you can actually be done. Oh no, I'm lying. We didn't even stitch up the cardigan yet. What am I talking about? So yeah, just keep on stitching that up, and then we're going to stitch up the sides, the open sides of the cardigan. But I don't think I'm going to show that, because I always show me stitching up like the sides of cardigans or sweaters. It's so easy, and everybody has their own way of doing it. So if you have a way that works for you, trust me, do not take my method and use it. Just use whatever method has been working for you, because I don't want people to feel like they need to stop what they're doing in order to make what I do work, because that's so not the case. And I haven't been crocheting for that long. Like literally it hasn't even been 2 years yet, I don't think. And I make anything I want to make, and I don't go by anybody's rules. So you guys don't have to listen to anything. As long as it works for you, then keep doing it. Don't listen to what anybody else says, especially people who've been crocheting for a long time and they feel like they have the rule book on crochet. Please believe you don't have to listen to them. So anyway, I don't know where that came from. Oh my god, I'm being so weird. Anyway, so once you have your pockets on, you go ahead and flip it basically inside out. So your pockets need to be on the inside of your cardigan, and then we're going to stitch up the sides and the sleeve. And after that step, that's when you can be done. So yeah, I'm just going to show you right here. I'm telling you to stitch up the sides, and then after you go up the side, you do the armpit, and then you go down the arm. Do that for both sides, and then you will be finished with your cardigan. When I come back, I will have all of the sides all stitched up and everything. You'll be able to see the seams. So yeah, here you go. See the seams and the sleeve seams. Everything should be closed nicely. And see, you guys, this was so super duper easy. Now, being that I messed up my cardigan, I went around the cardigan. Basically, I attached the yarn at the bottom of the cardigan and went all the way up one panel across the neck and down the other panel, like I'm showing you right now. That's basically what I was doing. I did about 4 rows of the sedge stitch. I could have did any stitch, but I chose to do the sedge stitch so it could all match. So basically right here I'm showing you where I went around and I did the stitches. I'm probably going to add some buttons to this because you can see where I did the sage stitch on the outside because the stitches are going the opposite direction. But yeah, I'm going to add some buttons, about 4 or 5 buttons, so it can look really cute if I decide to button it up. I'm showing you the measurements right here. You want to make sure that your 2 front panels are the same measurement and that they're equal with your back measurement, just so your cardigan doesn't look all crazy or it doesn't fit. If you're trying to make it for somebody else, you want to make sure that everything fits everybody. So basically my panels are about a 1/2 inch difference in width. So whatever, it is what it is. You can't really tell anyway. But thanks guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I think the next video is going to be a giveaway video for my 7K subscriber count. So bye guys.